Welcome back. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Happy Monday. Today's video is a little bit different. As many of you know, we have a membership product called Indie Pro, which gives you access to all of the training that we've ever built for our agency employees and for independent musicians out there who want to learn how to market their music better. We have almost 4,000 subscribers now, but we have only about 1,000 members, which means that there's tons of people who watch this channel who aren't in Indie Pro and they've never really seen what we offer in terms of training. So this week we're going to include lessons from some of our trainings as uploads to YouTube so that you guys can get a preview of what type of information is inside our Indie Pro member area. Today's lesson comes from our flagship Fan Finder method training, which teaches you how to build a huge fan base using Facebook video ads and live performance videos and other specialty types of music videos. The thing is that the types of music videos that us as artists and directors as music video directors create are not necessarily conducive to gaining attention online, especially on social media platforms, because the format is so different on social media from what music videos were invented in. The climate and the environment that music videos came to bear in is fundamentally different from social media as a entertainment distribution mechanism. So the videos on social media have to be different in order to perform well. And in this lesson, we go over which videos work best for social media. Now, this lesson is a little bit long, but I guarantee you it's worth it. It can fundamentally change what type of content you go to create when you decide to create a promotional visual for a song on a release that you're planning. Now, in the description, I've left some links to purchase this training at a significant discount. This link will only be good for the next 2 weeks, so we can't put it on discount forever, but I wanted to give anyone who enjoys this lesson a chance to get it at a discount just to see what we're all about. And if you want to go so far as to join Indie Pro, I've also left a link below for a $1 trial. So now that you know what we're going to be going over and what this week's going to be like on the channel, let's get into it. When we think about creating a music video, especially when it comes to planning out a music video with a director, the types of videos we conceptualize, the images we conjure, the things we think are going to be good ideas don't necessarily comport with what works in terms of viral videos, what works out there on the internet. And so in this lesson, we just want to get down what videos work best and why, because it's highly advisable that you create a video to spec for this strategy. The difference between half-assing this and really building something that's optimized for this is night and day. We've seen videos go mega viral if they're in the right context, and we've seen videos just flop or not get very many results if they're kind of slapdash or not optimized to the psychology of Facebook and Instagram and social media in general and the internet. So there's a few psychology points I'm going to go over, and then I'm going to go over videos that have done extremely well. I'm going to go over videos that have had trouble, or videos that I just typically see not doing well. So first, let's talk about the psychology that goes into why someone might watch your video while just scrolling their news feed or their Instagram feed. What's gonna catch someone's attention? The first thing you want to know is that your video should do a great job of capturing attention in the first 10 seconds. If your audience members aren't immersed in the video or curious about how it's gonna turn out within that crucial first 10 seconds, then it's very unlikely you're gonna get a lot of people to watch the whole video or listen to your music, which is really what we're trying to get them to do. So your first 10 seconds is an all-important territory that you wanna keep sacred, which is why you need to keep intro titles and credits out of it as much as you possibly can. I've seen a few title sequences that have been helpful in getting attention, but most of them are counterproductive. So a lot of the times we're taking videos and just lopping off the first 10 seconds because they bury the lead, is what it's called. The lead is what gets someone interested in your piece of content, and burying it is when you do a bunch of preamble, a bunch of warming up to the moment where you tell someone why they might be interested or you show them. This works for articles too. I'll take, a well-written article by one of our blog writers and just remove the first paragraph because it's unnecessary. Keep those first 10 seconds sacred. Make sure they're engaging, make sure they're entertaining, make sure they immerse the user in your world, in the video. Now, the psychology of what videos work best on social has a lot to do with suspension of disbelief, because people want to feel as if they're watching something that they could be a part of, whether it's as a part of humanity in general or whether it's a part of the actual physical setting of the video. We don't want people to feel like it's out of place appearing on their newsfeed. The first problem that I see a lot of people making when they create or pick a video to market is the disconnection from the subject. A lot of videos are an artist lip sync performing with great cinematic shots to a song. The problem with that is that a lot of video ads occur with the sound off at first. Getting people to turn the sound on is a huge challenge to overcome, and if you launch into a video that has all these rich cinematic shots and lip-synced performances or even a story, you are interrupting someone scrolling and launching into something that they're not a part of. They're on the perimeter of it. You haven't gotten them into it yet, so they feel incredibly disconnected from the subject, who is you, the artist. So the videos that work best tend to be ones that give people a face-to-face with the subject. Further, they're not lip syncing or acting, right? They're actually displaying their talent. A lot of the videos we see that work best appear to be at least live performances, even if they're not. Another point is that people want to feel as if they exist in a world where cool things happen because of talented humans. They want to feel like they're immersed in this talented humanity, which is why we see public performances, single camera shots doing really, really well, is because they don't break up the action and they don't perturb the suspension of disbelief. They're a single continuous shot in a single location, truly immersive, right? They're not jumping all around to different beautiful locations that don't seem like we'd ever encounter them day to day. And the last point I'll make about the psychology that goes into this is you want your video to appear as if it's a viral video, not an ad. Ads are glossy, high production value. They don't invite the user into an experience. They sort of display a bunch of flashy shit to show off, and they're just not very engaging. A viral video, on the other hand, it's frequently recorded on whatever camera was lying around, oftentimes someone's cell phone. They have live audio. They're in a location that we might encounter in our day-to-day lives. They're real, they're visceral. Ads are not. And all these points are going to heavily inform the videos we review here for what works best. So starting off the list of video types that I've sort of prepared here that work is public performance videos. If you can display an incredible talent in a setting that people encounter every single day, you're in the right territory. One of our most successful testing grounds artists videos was this video by Dukes called Lady of the Night. Here you see that this 6-person band is shoved into a minivan with all these synth instruments. They're really wired up. If you were in this van, the only thing you would be able to hear is the singer's voice unless you had headphones in. So they're all running off of a generator and they've got headphones in, they're recording the audio live, and the singer's singing with this microphone while driving. This is your morning commute, right? It's something you might have seen on the highway. Furthermore, it's what I'll call a stupid human trick. If you remember old school Dave Letterman's Late Show, he would bring out people to perform some random talent, and it was a segment called Stupid Human Tricks. Videos that couple public performance with stupid human tricks are super advantageous. Public performances that occur where you least expect them to occur, where people see just a random massive amount of talent being displayed in their day-to-day life, that's exciting. It makes us feel like we live in this talented world where exciting things happen. If you go and do it on a cliff in Australia, that doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't care because it's not part of my life. Now there's like an exception to that, right? There's the full extreme, like FKJ did a video in like on a platform in the middle of like this beautiful ocean scene. It was amazing. But that video didn't go nearly as viral as when him and another producer were in this cramped studio making a fire song from scratch live. They were live looping a song. So epic cinematography can frequently take you out of it, and we'll talk about that in a second. Public performance videos. Put your talent, your full talent, on display in a traditional, commonplace, everyday setting. Try to get bystanders involved in it, and you will have a successful video. Now, I don't recommend this if your music isn't based off of a certain extreme talent. Like, if you're a soft rock band that relies more on your songwriting than you do on your guitar solos or your live production, then maybe that's not the right video type for you. But if you shred in any of a manner of varieties, if you sing in really high key or very loudly or very gratingly or very roughly, if you shred guitar, if you shred saxophone, if you can live loop an entire song from scratch like that, these are all talents to put on display in a very common scenario. Find places where people walk right through all the time. Harvard Square is one of my favorites in Boston. Find places that are heavily populated. Find places that have an element of danger to it, maybe. These videos, these types of videos work very well, as evidenced by Dukes' video. The next type of video that works really, really well is just a single shot performance video. The 502's first video that they ran a fan finder on was this video, What to Do. The entire band is crammed into a small laundry room, and there's a single camera for the entire video. It's all one take. One take videos are a great way to display your talent, especially if maybe you're not of the shredding variety. If maybe your talent relies more on the songwriting and the composition, you want to maintain that suspension of disbelief as much as possible. Cutting the camera ruins that suspension of disbelief. It takes me out of it. Oh, I'm not there. I'm not in that laundry room because you're cutting around to different things and I don't teleport. So that ruins my suspension of disbelief when you have all these different sets for your video. I'm not there. I can't jump around locations. So single shot performance videos work very, very well, as evidenced by the 502's video. And when you're using a single shot, you don't necessarily have to be in a commonplace public setting, because I'm more likely to believe it. I'm more likely to put myself in that scenario. The next video that can work very, very well, the next type of video, is the one we commonly see go viral, which is the talented friends type of video. These types of videos use very simple cameras, oftentimes a cell phone, sometimes locked off on a tripod with no one else there, but also sometimes with someone shakily recording your talented friend. You rush into the room and you say, dude, do the thing that you do, and you record it. And this works more well with the types of music that shred. If you're putting a specific, unique, soloing oriented talent on display, or you're doing something that's very hard to pull off, this is the type of video you want in addition to a public performance video. A great example of this was Ted Yoder, who used his hammered dulcimer to do a cover of Tears for Fears. This video went mega viral. On Facebook, it's got 104 million views because it's just someone recording a guy displaying a massive talent adeptly. And that's what you want with these types of videos. Now, this video also happens to be a cover, which is the last type of video I'll go over. If you can put a spin on a cover, if you can take a song and make it different, put it in a different genre, a different context, that can work really well. Our biggest successes in terms of the fan finder strategy have been with cover spins, spinning the idea of a cover. So one of my favorite bands in our community and some of our favorite indies, the North 41, they did a jazzed up, funky cover of Metallica's Enter Sandman, which I'll play right now on the screen. This went very viral. For a very limited spend, less than I even spent on Dukes to get 1.2 million views, they got 3 or 4 million views for this video. Very, very impressive. It's because they took this hard rock song by Metallica and they made it into this jazzy, funky thing that you might dance to. The North 41 did very well with that concept, but the mother of all cover spins is our agency client, Small Town Titans. Our agency lead, Jack, recommended that they run a fan finder sometime last year, and so they ran an initial one which got a very nice amount of views, did very well, but in December, they took a cover they did of The Grinch Stole Christmas, but done in a hard rock style. So it's the reverse. They flipped The Grinch Stole Christmas into a hard rock song. 33 million views on Facebook.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus and as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
They eclipsed their ad spend in terms of revenue. They took our free plus shipping and handling strategy and followed up that fan finder and retargeted everybody with this free plus shipping and handling offer for their CD, and they made a lot of money off of that. It's one of our most rousing success stories. I'll put a blog article about it in the description of this lesson, but they killed it with a cover spin. And those are two of our, our biggest case studies, the North 41 and Small Town Titans. So you can spin a cover into another genre and it has a chance of going viral. This isn't a surefire thing. We've seen punk covers, which are very, very common, not do nearly as well. But generally, if you're taking a song and putting it in the opposite context, the Grinch to hard rock or hard rock to jazzy funk, you're going to turn some heads, you're going to get some attention, and that's really what works well, is grabbing attention early on. Furthermore, you're going to generate more shares because it's a very shareable concept. Now, briefly, I just want to go over some video types that just don't traditionally do very well. Very early on, one of our first indies, like Kipia, amazing band. They make amazing music and they make amazing music videos, but those videos are very epic. They include scenery and cinematography that is not common to the average everyday life, and they didn't do so well with the fan finder method. And it's because of that suspension of disbelief. That's what I attribute it to. There's just no way that all this epic cinematography and these exotic locations have anything to do with my life. I can't contextualize it. And that's probably why they didn't do so well. Further, story-driven music videos don't do so well because it's already hard to comprehend the story of a music video. It's not like understanding the story of a television show or a movie. You have to really, really watch. There's no dialogue or contextual clues as to what's going on. And one thing people aren't doing on Facebook is really, really watching. Same on Instagram. They're not really watching. They're scrolling. Their attention is diverted. They're doing a million different things at once. You need to grab attention, and stories don't do that in music videos. They also remove you, the artist, completely from the viewer. They have no connection to you. They have no connection to the song because the song's being used to tell a story with cinematography. And the last type of music video that doesn't do so well, which is sad because it's like the most common type of music video, is multi-shot performance videos. Hey, let's go to an abandoned building and shoot the band recording or the rapper rapping. All right, now let's go to a beach. All right, now we're driving. These multi-shot, multi-setting performance videos with someone just performing at the camera, maybe there's like light story baked in, they just don't do well. I wager that they're not very interesting to watch anyways, not even just on Facebook, but they can be cool. It's just they do not do well on Facebook. Now, I've included a summary of all these points below, so if you'd like to review them in a text format, you can. But I highly recommend that you take what I've said here, take a look at the different examples of what videos have worked, and pick one of those types of videos to create and run as your fan finder. You already have a video that fits perfectly into one of these categories, that's great. But if you're trying to shoehorn in a video to work with this strategy, don't do that. You may have noticed that all of these video types I'm recommending are not very expensive. Take a camera out to a public place. Grab a camera and turn it on and don't turn it off while you perform. Grab a cell phone camera and have your buddy film you doing something ridiculously talented. The most expensive type would be a cover spins video, but it doesn't have to be. If you don't do multiple shots, if you don't do crazy settings, that cover spins video doesn't have to be complex. These are very low cost but high impact ways to create a video to spec for your fan finder campaign, and I promise you, you'll be much happier if you do that. Now, if you do want to go down that road and you want to create a fan finder to spec, in the next lesson, I'm going to just go over some brief tips for either hiring a videographer, instructing a videographer on what you're going after, or doing it yourself and what type of equipment you might want to use. If you've already got a video that fits squarely into one of these categories, then you can probably skip that lesson and continue on to earning and keeping attention. Either way, I'll see you in your next lesson.